voting constituency here in the Ashanti region, Honorable Adainimo, he, for the second time, is asking delegates to give him the nod to lead the party. The first time was in 2014. He couldn't succeed. Our question is, would this time be his time? Stay with us, it's very interactive. Your thoughts are welcome on 0548501584. And do not forget, we're doing this together with our partner station in Accra City, 97.3 FM. So the structure of what we are presenting to you today is that we will largely be focusing on the Ashanti region, and we'll be alternating to our partner station city so that they can give you the national perspective of this election. We are together in this cause, and just like I said, it's interactive. Your thoughts are welcome. You can even send me your predictions, who you think is likely to emerge victorious. A quick reminder that we are streaming live on YouTube, Orange 107.9 FM. We are live on YouTube, so you can check us live. You can watch the program live. Be with us. Send your thoughts, send your views on that platform, and in due time we'll be reading all of them for you. Alternatively, you can also send us your WhatsApp message on 0548501584. This morning, later we'll be activating the phone line so that you can join us. It's a very interactive coverage. The NPP is seeking to elect an individual who will be able to break the 8 for them. Amongst the 4 candidates, who do you think has the wherewithal, the expertise, the capacity, the ability, the knowledge, the experience, the personality to lead the party in making history as far as Ghana's election is concerned? It has never happened since 1992. The NPP is seeking to be the first political party to break that jinx. Will it be possible? But if I said possible, it's like I'm mentioning someone's. But will it be successful? That's the question we're asking this morning. And do not forget, we have our men on the ground. Later we'll be speaking to our colleague Fatau Bayaga, who has been going around the various constituencies, interacting with the various personalities, the stakeholders, the delegates, and of course the newsmakers. In due time, we'll be bringing to you those reports. But I want you to listen to the Ashanti Regional Minister. Not long ago, he cast his ballot and he spoke to my colleague Fatau Bayaga what he makes of the process so far. Listen.
What do you make of the election so far?
Actually, so far, we've not heard of any negative incidents. We are praying that by the end of the polls, we have such a situation. This in-house elections, and I don't see why we should be fighting ourselves. I've said several times that anybody who has a challenge should report to me, and we take the necessary action immediately. I'm sure we have very peaceful election. From the way things are going, we are going to have very peaceful election.
We know that you support the vice president, and almost all the leaders within the party are supporting the vice president. Is it that there's some secret in there that you know that we don't know?
Whatever comment I have, I've made it already. Today is election day.
So Honorable,
whatever I say about that is tantamount to campaigning. So I'm sorry.
Any advice to the delegates?
The only advice I'll say is that everybody should go and vote peacefully and go back home. We are not here to fight. We are just here to elect a flag bearer for the party. The main contest is there, and we should all focus on the main contest. This is not the main contest. This is just a means to an end, and it's not the end itself. So we should target the end. Vote peacefully. Let's elect whoever the party feels will lead us into 2024 elections.
People are saying that the party appears to be divided at the moment. How are you going to unite it?
Anything in relation to something relating to campaign, no.
And so that's the Ashanti Regional Minister speaking to my colleague Fatau Bayaga, giving his own assessment to the process so far and what he thinks is going to be the results at the end of the polls. Now let's listen to the Member of Parliament for the people of Bantama constituency. He also spoke to my colleague. Listen.
Party people, I know you've been doing this for Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia for quite some time. Are you hopeful that at the end of the day he will carry the day?
I am hopeful. I'm very confident that he will emerge as the winner, who has the support of the overwhelming majority of the party people.
Come 2024, if elected as president, would he be the best candidate to lead the MPP
Without
to break
doubt,
the eight?
without doubt. I've said it before that Dr. Bawumia represents the youth, the teeming majority of our party. He is an extraordinary candidate that we've never had it before, and through him we'll be able to break the eight for the first time in Ghanaian political history.
Would it be a very good day for Kennedy Japan as well?
It will be a good day for all party members, because at the end of the day, once we select our leader, it's for the good of every party person, including Honorable Kennedy Japan and the other contestants.
And so that is the Member of Parliament for the people of Bantama constituency speaking to some journalists after him also casting his ballot in this MPP primaries. Well, what we're going to be doing for you this morning is that, of course, we'll profile the various candidates for you, and then we'll talk about their campaign so far. I mean, the messages that they've been trying to give out to delegates. And then, of course, we'll be asking the very important question for the MPP rank and file. Who amongst these aspirants, these candidates, has the capacity to break the eight for the party? Because that's what the party is looking out for. The party is looking out for a personality or an individual who has the ability or who can break the eight for the governing New Patriotic Party. So that's something that we're going to be asking this morning. But just like I've said, we're streaming live on YouTube, Orange 107.9 FM. You can watch us live. And of course, currently we are showing you videos of what's happening regarding this election. You're seeing various videos of delegates and of course key personalities casting their ballots. We're streaming that live on YouTube. You can join us on YouTube and be part of that conversation. You can also send us your WhatsApp message on 054850158. If you're a delegate and perhaps you've seen something, if you've observed something that you want to share with us, that is very much welcome as well. You can send those messages on 054850158. We'll be happy to share it with the rest of our listeners. But of course, we have a guest this morning. Let me just say good morning to him, Alhaji Inusa, popularly known as Chairman Inusa. Chairman Inusa, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I'm sure you're fine.
God willing, I'm doing all right.
Are you tensed?
Very tired, not tensed.
Very tired?
Yes, but not tensed.
Eh.
As for tensed, we know that we have done good job, and it's like exams. Once you study very well, you would be tired along the line, but you'll be confident that you're going to go through and come out with flying colors.
Yes. So you're very confident?
Absolutely.
Do you have any percentage in mind?
Well, to be honest with you, I, for one, have never been talking about percentages, but I've heard a lot of people talking about percentages. But for me, the most important thing is that the party would overwhelmingly show their interest and then we'll go by it.
Do you think the percentage of victory will be important?
Well, I don't think...
Or it is not necessary?
I don't think it is going to be anything important, even though if we get a bigger margin, that would be good. But even if it is just the 50% plus a vote, it's okay. It's a victory, and then the party can move on with that.
Okay. I'll come back to you, but we have to conduct an exercise to give our listeners an idea of the various individuals contesting in this election. And we'll also be spending time to look at some of the key messages that they have been giving out as part of their various campaigns. And we'll be looking at the pros and cons, the strength and possibly the weaknesses of the various candidates. And that's something that we're going to be interrogating this morning. Abena is here with me, and she will help me give our listeners a sense of the various aspirants and what they are bringing on board as far as this election is concerned, and so that you have a fair idea the aspirants and of course what they are bringing onto the table. But if you are listening to us wherever you are very much part of this election coverage, and so you can join us with your thoughts. Now, let me take a quick trip to Bosomtwe constituency. When I return, then of course we'll be bringing to you the profile of these individuals. But of course, my colleague Bernard Opokunti is there for us. He's been speaking to some delegates. They've been giving their own assessment of the process so far. Let's listen.
Bosomtwe for the year who has sent Sabasa 7
na unsuso onyi se hwan na eba bedi o man so oba be flag bearer edama amanyoko NPP when no say
me no ka say dey me pe vice ono na metoma na me pese urade adom no medi ani because ono bedi ani mo to me dey be board the party NPP ono betumi dey nkambo mamba aba because o hwe ni su a we nipa bi a one wa preserve ni ho yi aside say to me make say Ghana for binu mo aye adwene say yensua de so yempese ye beti ne ma bi ahwe ne ye de economy ye de tag no but me am gina ha me say economy say de be enfiri no e global na ba ntinya Ghana nko na sa ne ma na ye de be e koso ene ye de tag na apart from that say the personality unya bi an kan fa no
ba utie kan say Yewura Kennedy so a utumu say nensem ode ba no ebita asoma na say na da asem no de na maye.
Oh well, mentimi nka say na da asem anya say kan no mempe no but I really just nipa ba ko ne ebeyi no omo me no obi abedi animu anka mepe ba so far so makwa emi nde meyi ba ko aye de beja ba ko me ale ba kwa me hu no kan ho ne say na sha ase nya na presidential ambition ni na so ebetom enti na ma menka say oye mistakes ewo ne nsem kan bi mo because nsem bi won ma waka ya nya nkoda asa say na na waka say wa me abra $800 million say si form ne ade abra Ghana whole Ghana nyina ye koje $600 million ewo IMF ano ka Ghana nya nani age na ase vice abra wo 800 o pesa o kire say sabi menya akoda nti we no nti me convince say no nya no kure nti na mkasa na onye obi a o share policy that na won nani so so ba be president nti no am preserve ne ho ansie nti niema bebre ba biti no kakra me
wa hade situation ye boko se abato ya na eja e ya adwen se ye nyina beto aba ye yi party ni ba ko obedi anim for 2024 ne yetimi ebu NDC for nsamaji aba ti no an yeguso a ye di so a ye to aba wa he na boni bia ni
na wohwe empemfo ye obi ade ne nsema to gya hwan na ho se ne de to akoma so esese to
oh eno de me me hu ne se obi aba o me ade ne de ato Kennedy de ne de ato but wohwe de ebeto utirim ene de nipa oba obetimi aboa wo ama manim etimi aye men wa hwe so ato wa ba ama no etimi de yetiatiem de ne de to asomu na obi ekọ na adwen ato ama no
na ohwe be 3 days etwemi mpemfo ma nkofo ko nan ya o ma be yetom so abedi o musa share krata bi asese wa abedi ntwo bia ni kwan so free amanyoko ni ugidi se betumi aye adwuma sa se
oh ebetumi aye adwuma because of say ye ya headie abato ne da boko enti se o hwa ha na se nwiamu bia amamu a nim se de o mo ye ndie betumi aye adwuma mana yi na sa na me hu
o nyame adom hade bia da boko obi asoso yiro ho a oto naba nti hade body bia si ha no bia ko yi o ha de ye ntim sa de ye chance yi na me ba ha no pa no be won start be me hu so bia say e bia o ka asem bi eti obi ha no da bi e hu bi sa
na o hwe impemfo nan yom de o mo nsema to de a why na eto asomo e se fata say ye de Frank Anisha nsema otu no
busunjwa de mze Dr. Babud ma obi na dodo no anyone so ese in peme sanka no
ye ntia
ewo npebu a e ka se e fa odwo e ka ho obuo ne nima ofa so nyema no ni nyina ka nipa no nisu e just me ti hu se oba betimi aboa Ghana
na miense etwemi NDP performer nkofo na ye betom so abedom sa share krata bi ase se wa ubedi ntro no eni kwan so free amanyoko no ugidi se sa eye betumi aye eduma edi
pa so bia boka yesa ni mawi na wodi ntru na se bia me sa ko gina campaign dia boa MPP ama what member power edin Benjamin utum bibia ye edi pa easy.
So that's my colleague Bernard Opokunti speaking to some delegates in the Bosomtwi constituency. And of course, in our analysis, Bosomtwi is one of the constituencies that we will be extensively analyzing to look at how the election is likely to pan out. And we will also be looking at the constituencies of some of the aspirants. We'll go to Kwadaso to have a first sense of what the delegates think, whether or not the former member of parliament of that constituency who happens to be contesting in this election will get the favor of delegates in that constituency. I'm referring to the Kwadaso constituency and, of course, the Mampontin constituency, where you have their former member of parliament who's seeking to lead the governing patriotic party. We're asking if indeed the delegates in those constituencies will be preferring these individuals because of the proximity, because of the relationship they have with them. All of those are analysis that we're going to be bringing to you this morning as far as this coverage is concerned. But let me go to Oforikum constituency, because we understand that MPP legal director, lawyer Gary Nimako, was there to observe happenings. And of course, my colleague Fatal Bayaga was there. And of course, he engaged him in a conversation. Let's listen.
Very good. We have gone around about 4 different polling stations. That is Kwadaso, Subi, Inshaiso, and now we are here. It's been peaceful. It's been very peaceful. It's been very peaceful. I hope and pray that it goes on the same way so that we can vote 2 o'clock. They end the polls, they do the counting. Whoever wins on the ground, you have won. Whoever loses, you have lost peacefully. That's the way I see it now. Thank you very much.
But I understand there were some issues about the album and all that, and you handled
which album?
An area like Asqua, they were complaining about the album. They were even. It
has not come to my attention. Once you have told me about it, I'll find out from the Director of Elections, and it will be resolved. Anybody who has a problem with the album, it will be resolved. There's no one who will be disenfranchised in this process, and I can assure you, if anybody has a problem with the album, whatever consequences that it might be, it will be resolved before 2 o'clock.
But so far, has there been any case that has been brought to your attention?
No. So far, no. Not that to my knowledge. No, so far, no. Not anywhere. We've been to all these places. Yeah, it's been very quiet and peaceful so far. As you are seeing, the police are doing a very wonderful job. They are all here. It's a very sanitized process. Very peaceful. Very, very peaceful. And I hope it goes on like that till 2 o'clock, and even beyond 2 o'clock.
Okay, like, you lead the 4-member team in this Ashanti region.
That's correct.
Elections supervising. The other individuals, what indications are they giving you as to incidents happening in the various constituencies?
Nobody has told me anything. There's no complaints so far from anywhere. There is our 4th center, or our 5th center, 4th center, yes. And we keep moving. We are going to move to all the 47. That's why when we go to a place, we spend 15 minutes at the place, observe, and we move. Okay, so far, I think so far so good. Thank you very much.
The security situation?
It's good. We commend the IGP and his men. We commend them and his men. They've done well. Look, it's not even only here. All the places we have been, you see that the police are there. There is no ammunition, there is no arm, there is nothing. They are only there sitting there or standing there observing the process. Let's commend them. I think so far, so good. Thank you so much.
And that's Gary Nimaku. He is the Director of Legal Affairs for the governing Patriotic Party, speaking to some journalists and, of course, assessing the process so far. He is very confident and satisfied with the conduct of elections so far, and he says that the atmosphere is largely peaceful, and he's excited because of that. So it looks as if a lot more people are very much particular on the peaceful nature of the election. Yes, we will be observing all of those, and then we'll be, measuring the level of security and, of course, how peaceful this election will be. But Abna is here with me. Abna, briefly, who are these individuals? I mean, let's present these individuals to our listeners. Yes, I'm sure that they've heard their names. They have some information about them, but a quick profile before we get into the analysis, after which then we'll be focusing on the key campaign messages of these individuals. And of course, I'll be engaging Chamani Nusa in that conversation. But tell us, who are these individuals, the four who are seeking to lead the governing New Patriotic Party?
Alpha, thank you. So I'll start with Kennedy Ohene Japon. He was born on 16th June 1960. He is a Ghanaian politician and a businessman who represents the Asin Central in Parliament for the New Patriotic Party. He was first elected as a member of Parliament in 2000 to the seat of Asin North. He retained his seat in the year 2004 and 2008 parliamentary elections. In 2012, he was elected in the new seat of Asin Central and was re-elected in 2016. He also retained his seat in the 2020 elections. He is currently the chairman of the Parliament's Defense and Interior Committee and an aspirant for the presidential candidate on the ticket of the NPP.
Okay, so that's the man Kennedy Ohene Japon, who is number 2 on the ballot, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Number 1.
Yeah, number one.
Number one. Yes. Yes. Let's go to the second candidate.
Okay. Okay, so it's Baumia. So second on the ballot sheet is Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. He was born on 7th October 1963. He's a Ghanaian economist and former central banker who serves as the 5th Vice President of Ghana in the 4th Ghanaian Republic. He assumed office on 7th January 2017 as Vice President of Ghana. Mahmoud Baumia is an economist, banker, and Vice President of Ghana. Dr. Mahmoud Baumia was the Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana until his nomination as the Vice Presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party in 2008, standing alongside presidential candidate Nana Akufo-Addo. He also ran as the NPP Vice Presidential candidate in the 2012 general elections and was the lead witness for the petitioners in the 2012-2013 presidential election petition, which challenged the declaration of John Mahama as winner of the election. He is married to Samira Baumia, with whom they have 4 children.
So that is Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, who is the vice president, the incumbent vice president, and also an aspirant seeking to lead the MPP into the 2024 election. Who then is the third candidate?
Number 3 is Dr. Oswefi Akutu. He was born on 19th October 1949. He is a Ghanaian agricultural economist and politician. He is a member of the New Patriotic Party and was a member of Parliament for the Kwadaso constituency from 2009 to 2017. He was the cabinet minister in the Nana Akufo-Addo administration and served as Minister of Food and Agriculture of Ghana. He resigned on 10th January 2023 to focus on his presidential ambition. He holds MSc and PhD degree in agricultural economics from the University of Cambridge, England.
Okay, so that is Dr. Owusu Efriakutu, who is a former member of Parliament for Kwadaso constituency, former agriculture minister. Yes, the last candidate to be Honorable Adenimo.
Honorable Adenimo. So Honorable Francis Adenimo was born on 23rd March 1965. He's a Ghanaian politician and a member of the 6th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. He represented the Mompong constituency in the Ashanti region on the ticket of the NPP. He identifies as a Christian and is married with 3 children. Adenimo is a development planner by profession, and he's also a civil engineer. Adenimo is a member of the New Patriotic Party, and in 2012 he contested for the Mompong seat on the ticket of the NPP in the 2012 2012 Ghanaian general elections and won. He also served as a member of parliament for Mampong between 2008 and 2016. He contested in the NPP's presidential primaries in 2014. He lost the bid to represent the party in 2015 parliamentary primaries. In the annual National Delegates Conference in 2022, Mr. Nimo predicted surprises of seeing new faces in the leadership of the NPP. He has in recent times joined the race for the NPP flag bearership for the 2024 election.
So these are the profiles of the 4 aspirant contestants in this election. Well, let's now look at some of the numbers. In total, 203,439 delegates are expected to cast their ballots. And in the Greater Accra, we expect 39,134 delegates. In the Ashanti region, 34,987 delegates. And then in the Eastern region, we expect 21,233. In the Central region, 18,127. Western region, they have 13,717, with voter region with delegate population of 11,995. Northern region, 11,803. And the Upper East region with 8,118 delegates. And then you go to Bono East region with 7,571 delegates. Bono region comes with 6,661 delegates. And of course, Upper West region with 6,640 delegates. Western North region with 6,122 delegates. And then Northeast region with 5,210 delegates. Ahafo region with 4,204 delegates. Savannah region 3,964, Oti region 3,490, headquarters 463. In total, you have 203,439 delegates expected to cast their ballot in this contest. I've told you that we have our man on the ground, both Bernard and of course Fatau Bayaga. They are frequenting the various constituencies, the various polling centers, to give us a fair idea of what's happening. Samuel Pine, we understand that has been speaking, and of course giving us his own observation and assessment of the conduct or the process so far. Let's listen to him.
Woman can say on to two more. And no, none of the Pia catch your man. Baby, and see a beer can send there. But when you are catch the 2 baby now, the baby couldn't be an even a Becky came home near to an amapa in the power MPP are buying a your mind or mine. The baby couldn't know. I bet to us from a Ghana for your home fashion.
Okay, Honorable, what are the qualities that you seek to see in the Canberra?
No, this question is late because they are voting already. And it's not going to have any effect on it. But I look at people who are unblemished.
And so that's the mayor for Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly speaking to journalists, and of course also giving his own assessment. Chairman Inusa, the major priority of the governing New Patriotic Party is breaking the 8. Something that has never happened before. You are seeking to do so this time around. You've seen the process. You've seen the campaign messages. You've seen the rancorous nature of this internal contest. You've seen the major allegations of monetization as far as this contest is concerned. With all of these baggages, with all of these allegations and counter allegations, and generally the economic difficulties and the concerns of the Ghanaian people, have you seen, are you convinced in your heart that this time around you get the sense that the 8 can be broken?
Thank you very much, Alpha. I believe Ghanaians are in this with all of us. But let me take this opportunity to say that we are very grateful to the delegates so far. I have gone as early morning to cast at Asawasi, and then I've also gone to Fijakwabri East, and then I have gone to Nsiaisu, and then also Asquan. We are here. So far, so good. I think, by and large,
is it true that there was an issue in Asokwa, issue about album and names on the album, etc.?
I understand some 30 people came around and their names were not available. But later we got to know that it was rather they didn't come around with their card instead. So they were about resolving the issue when we left the venue. And I believe that the calm nature of the processes at the place would just continue. And I think there won't be any scuffle anywhere. I expect that at the end of the day, everybody would have peacefully cast their vote without having to push or pull any other colleague or delegate to be able to vote. Having said that, I believe that Alpha, I know, and I believe also that you, Alpha, would want to see that NPP break the 8, because there is no alternative in this country. All the other parties that we have around would not be able to take Ghana anywhere. You have seen it that in 2000, prior to 2008 election, you have seen what the NPP has done in this country. And then when NDC took power in 2009 to 2016, you yourself, you have seen where they have sent us back. In fact, for the very first time in this country, we have never consistently had light of what you people call Dumso for almost 4 years, or even some people are saying 5 or 4.5 during the entire period of John Dramani Mahama. I don't know whether it was a curse, but I think it has never happened. So I believe that Ghanaians would have this particular experience and would not hand over power to any other person. I also want to believe that if after today, MPP elect anybody, the Ghanaian public would understand that MPP is the only party that can consolidate the gains that we have made so far.
I'll come back to you so that we will deal with some of the allegations. Some say it will make the task very difficult for you guys because you have to clear all of these misconceptions, if they are, or more or less confirm them, if indeed they are true. But before we extend or we continue with that analysis, let me go into the telephone line now and engage my colleague, Fatau Bayaga, who has been on the ground for us, visiting various constituencies to understand what's happening. Fatau, good morning and welcome. You want to tell us where you are and indeed what you can report so far?
Good morning, Alpha. This morning I have visited a number of constituencies within the Kumasi Metro. I've been to the Mansia South and North constituencies. I've been to the Reform constituency, the Bantama constituency, the Sudan constituency. So I've been to all of these constituencies this morning. And I must report that everything is moving seamlessly at the moment. So many delegates are expected trip to the various polling centers to vote for their respective candidates at the Manchester South constituency, which is being held at the moment at the Louis Demonstration Basic School. That is where the regional chairman, executives went to cast their vote. Early this morning, the Ashanti region chairman of the party, Bernard Boshiakon, or as formerly known as Chairman Wintimi, who was there. And after casting his vote, he said that he's optimistic that the process would end very, very peaceful. A number of other committed members of the party in the region went there to vote, including the Ashanti regional minister who I spoke with. And he himself was very positive that the process was going to end well. After that, I went to the Bantama constituency, where the member of parliament for that constituency, Francis Atansubuachi, also came and cast his vote. He himself was also very, very excited about the process, and he said that obviously the vice president is going to emerge victorious at the end of the day. So I can confidently report that everything is very, very seamless. And at the Kwarasu constituency, I spoke with some delegates there, They told me that, they are looking, forward to seeing the former member of parliament, the former great minister, Owusu emerging victorious after the process. Even though there were some other people who think that he doesn't have that particular, he doesn't have the route to be able to compete with the vice president of the country. But also, as you know, close to 35,000 people, 35,000 delegates are expected to vote today. But let me just engage with Kennedy's, last agency at the Shubin constituency. The election is being held here at the Central Assembly Hall. Hello, sir. Good morning and welcome to your most comprehensive election station, Orange 107.9 FM. Yes, so what do you make of the process so far? So the process is very, very smooth. Each and everyone is following the rules and regulations. So as for now, we don't have any issues right now. But everything is okay right now. We are okay. So do you think that your candidate is going to elect? Obviously, our candidate, and we are not expecting anything less than 60%. Can assure you. Where are you getting this from? Where is this confidence? Because we've worked, and our message has gone down to the delegates. That is where we draw our inspirations from. Yeah. And do you think that the process is been free and fair at the moment? Oh, from my country, it's free and fair. Yes, yes. We've not had any issues. So for now, I can say that the process is free. And obviously, the party leaders in the region so continue to support the vice president. What do you make of that? During election, there's a thing that fear delegates. Sometimes they used to fear that you saw in the delegates. So when you talk to them, they tell you to vote for the number 2. But we know that they are going to vote for Ken. They know, and they also know that if they divert in any way, they are going to lose from the left. So that is the fear in them. But one-on-one, they assure us that they will vote for us. If you look at the Super Delegates Congress, your candidate, if you look at the gap between the vice president and your candidate, it was very wide. So are you sure that you're going to get that? Oh, as for that one, when your mother and your mother and someone contest an election, then you vote for your mother. It's nothing surprise. You see, because the MPs, the MDCs and the staff, you see, they are all working for the vice president. They are doing his bidding. So if at the end of the day they vote for him, it's nothing, serious or something that we should be shocked. The thing is, we believe in the police station executives. They are the majority, and they are those who are going to vote for us. So we believe in them. We don't have any problem with that. Okay. After you just heard from one of the agents of Ken's campaign here in the Ashanti region, who is very optimistic as the candidate, is going to emerge victorious at the end of the day, with 60%. Alpha has been seamless. There are so many people who are in a long queue waiting for their turn to also cast their ballot at this particular center.
But the interviews that you've had with the various leading personalities of the party, it appears they are concerned about the security aspect, or in other words, the peaceful nature of the election. From your visit to these constituencies, what would you say has been your observation when it comes to security deployment to the various polling centers?
Yes, so Alpha, I must say that at all of these constituencies that I visited, observed very critically, I have realized that everything is very peaceful, and the delegates themselves told me that this is an internal election. So there should not be any kind of situation that will paint the name of the party black, knowing very well that after this election they will be meeting, a giant in the NDC, that's the former President John Dramani Mahama, in the 2024 election. So they said that they will ensure that they do everything to make sure that they do not do anything that will that they participate in the march. So it's been very, very, very peaceful. And after the security situation, I must say there are a number of security personnel that have been deployed to the various centers. even at each of the centers, I counted not less than 15 police officers who are ensuring that everyone acts in accordance with the law, so that nothing untoward would happen, during and after this whole process. So it's been good. Even at the moment, let me just paint a picture of what is happening. So before you get into the inner parameter where the voting booths are, you would have to be screened by the police officers. They would check to ensure that there's no foreign material, including phones. In the past election, people would go after casting their votes. They take pictures of what who they voted for. This time around, at this particular constituency, they will not allow you to do that. They will screen you whether you're a woman, you're a man. They will screen you, get your phones out before you would head to where the officers are. Check to see whether the name is in there. Then after which you walk straight to the booth where you cast your vote, and where the ballot box is situated. It is very clear, and all can see what is happening there. So there is nothing evil you can do there that people will not see you. And if they see you, the police officers who are angry and waiting to arrest people, if you do that, they will take you on. So basically, that's how it is at the moment here within the Supreme constituency. And later, early in the day, the city mayor himself came here to observe the process, and he was quite happy that this whole process by 2 p.m. Everything is going to end well. I don't know if there's time, let me engage some of the Bombay supporters here, if you don't mind.
Okay. Hello, Fadal. Yes, you are engaging some supporters.
Yes, of the vice president.
Okay, go ahead.
Good morning.
Hello, Fadal. Hello.
Hello. So Alpha, I'm still trying to get some of the family supporters here. I've seen some that I want to engage deeply. Yes, good morning, sir. Please, I would like to engage with you about the legislature. Right. So Alpha, I have one gentleman here that I would want to engage with. So what do you make of the election so far? Thank you very much. I'm also acknowledging the Ashanti Regional Person Coordinator. The elections have been very peaceful, very smooth. Everything is going on well. And the delegates are much ready to elect someone who will lead us to break the age come 2024. So the elections is cool. Everything is going on. But do you think that your candidate is going to win? Massively. Massively, my brother. Massively. Why do you say that? My candidate has worked. He has been to all the constituencies to campaign. He has told his message to the delegates. He has availed himself for the passports. He has availed himself for the people of Ghana. He is credible. His integrity is always high. He is very hardworking. He is a person of unity. So I believe my candidate is going to win. But this is the Ashanti region, and you know very well that the candidates are from the Ashanti region. The former great minister and also Francis Adengo. So, do you think that your candidate will be able to beat this formidable Ashanti region? When it comes to Ashanti region, we are looking at the demarcation of Ashanti region. The only Ashanti region that we have Angunaga. Ashanti region, we have Zongos. There are no Zongos in Ashanti region. Tells you that Ashanti is, we are people who embrace everyone. We welcome everybody. So Ashanti, we do not discriminate. So if the person is from here, if you are not from here, if we see that you have vision, and if we also get to know that you are knowledgeable and ready to bring everybody on board, the Ashanti is ready to help you. I think that is not Ashanti. But we voted for Tusalo. So we are not looking at, this is not tribal election. This is an election for Ghanaians. Elections that need everyone on board. Elections where everybody is on the same place. Yes, let me ask you about this. I spoke with some other people within the other constituencies, and they say that your candidate is the vice president of the country, and he was given the opportunity to be the chairman of the economic management team, and nothing has changed. Nothing significant, I must say, has changed. Do you think that he is the best person to lead the party at the moment? And brother, a driver A driver and the person who knows how to drive, who is sitting in front, which of them is taking care of the car or driving the car? I'm coming. My brother, he's the vice president. He do not have the final say. Whatever is done goes to the president for approval because he is the leader he's the first gentleman of the country. So when the vice president is also given the chance to also lead, he must do the same thing. He has his own mind. That is why we should get to know. Other people will say that maybe your candidate has a lot of money, so he's going to use the money to influence the voters. Not the money is in that too. This man actually an issue of money, my brother. This is not an issue of money. Money cannot buy delegates. We cannot be bought. We all have our mind. We are intelligent. We are. I am an intellectual. I don't need money to vote for you. I need a message. How well Ghanaians will welcome me. That is what we are looking at. So the delegates are people who are intelligent enough, people who went into elections and they know what they are looking for. So it's not the amount of money that will tell Ghanaians and the delegates who to vote. Okay, all right. Thank you so much. Please, what's your name? My name is Osu Kamajima. The Ashanti will not respond for it. So thank you so much. You just said one of the vice president supporters who is very, very confident that his candidate is going to emerge victorious at the end of the day. But what we do not know is who is going to win the election. But we know clearly that definitely this election would come to an end by 2 p.m. And at that point, we would all know who among these formidable great men of the party would emerge as the leader of the NPP.
Before you go, Fatau, the party generally is seeking to break the 8, and there are some who believe that if we want to test the pulse or the preparedness of a party going into an election, you use some of this process to measure. When you observe the enthusiasm, the mood of the party, the mood of the delegates, the level of enthusiasm amongst the delegates, that doesn't give you a sense that they are ready for the battle ahead of 2024?
Yes, so also, all the constituencies like this, the delegates seem to be, even though they support, the 4 different candidates, but they seem to be, the relationship between them is very tight. They speak to each other. There's nothing that really, portrays that there is some bad blood between the members of the party. They see themselves as a family, and they are saying that this is just an election. So, and it is an election to select one of these 4 persons to lead the party. So they say that any of these persons that are selected to lead the party, they are all ready to support the person, because there is the only goal they are looking at is to break the 8. And as I spoke with many of them and members of the party, they wouldn't really care about who wins the process. But what they are looking for is that it should end in a very free and fair manner. But if it ends that way and they select one person to lead the party, they would all be ready to support that person so that the person would break the 8. So they're looking at observing what is happening. You see that all the members or all the delegates are very positive that this election would end peacefully, and they would all work together as a team and then fight the NDC come 2024.
Thank you very much. Fatau will definitely be coming to you at a point for another report of the happenings surrounding this election. But for now, thank you very much for the extensive report you brought to bear on the election thus far. That's my colleague there, Fatau Bayaga, who will be returning to very shortly, so that we'll be giving to you a report of what's happening on the ground as far as this election is concerned. But of course, I've told you that we have in our company Chairman Inusa, who is also helping us make sense of what's happening on the ground. And Chairman Inusa, before I went to speak to Fatauberg, I was asking you the question about the albatross around the neck of your party, looking at the allegations and counter-allegations that we've seen in the campaign period. And then, of course, externally too, the Ghanaian people have a major problem with your party looking at the economic situation currently. Let's first of all deal with the allegations. After this contest, do you think the party will be able to clear the doubt in the minds of Ghanaians, especially the floating voters, that it should be the party of choice? Because it appears the allegations have been quite serious.
Alpha, thank you very much. At a point, I wanted to say such as, but...
such as the allegation to the extent that $800 million was offered to one of the candidates to step down.
Okay, Alpha, thank you very much. You see, I believe that because you are not a politician, that is why you seem to see that there is so much tension in the election or so much bickering in the election. There's absolutely none.
There's none?
Yeah.
But
I am telling you that
the chairman of your Council of Elders,
by the time
when he
with
spoke
my
to
submission, you would have seen the
let me
sense. It makes sense of what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that because you are not a politician, that is why you have this perception that there is tension within the rank and file of the party. For us as the MPP, we have gone through several of this, and we have come out as a united body, and then we have gone on to win elections. So I don't see these ones to be anything. Whatever any of the candidate or their supporters have said against the other candidate, they are all normal. We do that in every election, every contest, we do that. However, you specifically mentioned an amount of $800 million that was offered to one particular person. So long as the person was unable to say who has given such an offer and where and at what point, I'm unable to attend to it because I don't believe in conjecturing. I believe in speaking to evidence, and I am also a realistic human being. I believe that as our state right now, as a country, we do not have $800 million to spare on a human being, one Ghanaian. We don't. The whole country doesn't have $800 million to spare on one single person. However, I can tell you that if it was to be that Ghana produced $800 million so that a soul of the country, one
but
person...
the allegation is that the Baumia campaign made that offer.
When you say the Baumia campaign made that offer, I am part of the Baumian campaign team.
You may not have been privy to that.
I am telling you that the things that I am privy to this particular Baumia campaign, it's just that some of us don't speak, we follow. But we have the information. And I can tell you that, in fact, the entire Baumia campaign team, when we pull all our resources together, it cannot be $800 million. It can never be. All of us, including me, when we put all our resources that we can make available for him to do the campaign,
So
or
where did you get that
for
money
him to run this
for you
particular campaign?
to make that offer to the man?
That is why I'm telling you that when all of us put our resources together, we can't get $800 million.
So that allegation is a lie.
Absolutely, you know
So
that.
Kennedy
that
Ohinayapon
cannot
lied.
be.
He peddled falsehood.
Well, I think that Ghanaians are discerning, and it's about time we leave it to Ghanaians to judge. Because if Ghana do have, as Ghana as a country, if we do have $800 million, we will not stretch our neck to reach a staff level agreement for another $600 million. Do you know what we did to get there? Even it hasn't come yet. It's supposed to be in November, the second tranche of the IMF deal. Do you know what we had to do to get that? We had to meet the external debtors, okay, and put in strong case to be able to get that. And it took the team 12 days, 12 good days, to put together a very well thought ideas or plea, let me call it so, to go and give it to those that we were owing, that's the external debtors, to be able to give us the opportunity to access the $600 million. And then this country, an individual is in this country or a team are in this country and have $800 million to offer to an individual just because the person wants to contest. I am telling you that, Alpha, all the candidates are sure of winning. And if you are not sure of winning, that is when you peddle falsehood and lies that somebody has asked you to step down.
You talk about the fact that you don't think there is a lot of bickering, rancor, division in your party. I want to read to you the quote of the chairman of your council of elders.
I am just telling you that they are not much.
So let me
disrupt the party.
Let me read this quote.
Into any election.
I'll allow you to respond, but let me read this quote. He said that, fellow patriots, taking a deeper look at our party today, I see a party which may be weaker by our attitude, our utterances, and our disrespect for each other, as well as our lack of discipline. I see a party sometimes with disputes and difficulties and acrimony. I see a party where members are refusing to work together for a common goal. We have allowed our selfish interest to override the common goal. I am not pointing fingers at any of us. Maybe we are all responsible. Fellow patriots, it has become clear that some deep personal interest and bitter political resentment might have reared their ugly heads, especially among all the presidential aspirants and their supporters. End of quote. These are very strong words.
Thank you very much.
To describe the current state of your party.
Yes.
It means there are a lot of problems.
I believe that I said something earlier. If you had taken notice of that, you will see that I just told you that as a politician or as a member of the NPP, this is not the first time we are seeing things like this. And we have always rise above the storm and then go on to win elections. So that's what I'm telling you, that, of course, this was a keen contest, or this is a keen contest, and you expect that every member would be able to try and say things that would project the candidate that the person is supporting in a good light. And in doing so, you see, the opposite will be the same. The opposite will be true. So if I have to project, if I'm in contest with you, Alpha, and I have to project myself, in effect, I'm just downgrading you. Because it will not balance.
But that will be indirect, but some
if I'm saying that I am stronger, I am handsome, in effect, I'm saying that Alpha is not strong, Alpha is not handsome. Do you understand? So that's what it is. But for a party like NPP, that's why our symbol is the elephant. It's so big. I'm telling you, these things are just a storm in a teacup. They will not walk beyond November 2023. I'm telling you that whoever that emerges today as the leader and presidential candidate of the party, steps are already taken to make sure that by the end of November, we are done with all internal issues that we have to sort out, and then we move on to 2024 in good mood.
But if you listen to some of the allegations, to the extent that your party lost this election way back in 2022, to the extent that you have mismanaged the city, for instance, to the extent that the economy has not been competently managed, to the extent that the party NPP is looting like there's no tomorrow, how can you then come back and say we are together now? We are convincing the Ghanaians to vote for us. Once all of these allegations have been made about yourselves, you have said all of these things to us, and you want us to say, oh, now the NPP, they are together, let's vote for them.
Alpha, thank you very much. That's what I was just telling you. You see, we do the same thing and people say politicians are liars. Do you remember, at a point in this country, somebody said that His Excellency, the former president, J. Kufuor, has sold every single resource in this country that is on the ground. You remember that? A politician said that. And it was so serious that people bought into it. But at the end of the day, when the person was before the vetting committee and the question was put to the person, what did he say? If you can remember his answer.
Do the campaign talk or something.
You see the point? That is a typical politician for you in this country.
So that's why
they
you
will
guys
say a whole lot of things. They will not have any backings. And that is why one unique individual is going to emerge as the winner of this particular contest. Because that is an individual who has not said anything against the party. That is an individual who has not said anything against the colleague contestant. At the end of the day, the delegates would just weigh. They will put what the allegations that you made mention of. Because if you say the party has lost election in 2020 already, or 2021, the party lost the election since then, and you are seeking to lead the party.
To revive.
To revive what?
So that to make the party winnable. To make the party able to win. Because with the current crop...
So, Alpha, are you now saying that the 2020 election was rigged or what? When you say the party lost the election in 2020, what does it mean?
In 2022, he said.
In 2022?
So the 2024 election was lost back then. So you need a different candidate to reverse the situation. More
a different candidate from the NDC or CPP?
No, amongst the MPP.
But how can MPP... Look, we win election as MPP and lost election as MPP.
No, but some candidates...
Alpha, I'm saying
were
that
on the ticket.
I'm saying that when this station, Orange FM, fails, there is no single person amongst you who would say that I was not part. All of you failed together. You succeed together. Anybody who wants to be a saint after a humiliating defeat is not a team player and therefore has never been part of the group, but he was pretending. And we need to see these people, take them out.
Have you seen these people amongst the aspirants?
Well, you know those who have made those allegations against the party.
Okay, so those
you know
are
them. You know those who have made the allegations against the party. And I am hearing it from you as a journalist, and I believe you.
Oh, you're not aware.
Yes. I know the power in your investigation and your colleagues. So whatever you put out here may well be the truth. And I'm saying that you know those who have said that against the party. If we have members in the party that says these things against the party, I can assure you that they have never been part of the MPP and they won't be part of the MPP. They can only continue to pretend because this party is way bigger than every single individual in it. And so our utterances, in fact, our constitution has even some portion to say that if you do anything to put the party in a light that it will affect the positives of the party or to denigrate the name of the party, you'll be suspended. It's in our constitution.
It's 21 after 12. You're listening to the coverage of the Npp Primaries here on Orange 107.9. Just like I've said, if you're a delegate listening to us, you went out there to vote. Who did you vote for? What do you think will be the result of this internal election? Have you seen something that you've not seen? Have you seen a signal that suggests to you that this is likely to tilt in a particular direction? Let us hear from you now. It will be time for us to look at the various messages of the various contestants thus far. And with this analysis, Mr. News, I would like you to put on your party membership cap, not your Baumia cap. You understand? We'll discuss it, or you discuss it as a party person, for that matter. But I'm here with my colleague as well, Abna, and then we'll be looking at some of the. We'll come back to the results of because we'll come back and analyze how things are likely to pan out, especially in the Ashanti region. Because don't forget, Alan was part of this contest. Alan has some supporters. Where would these supporters go? And some of the aspirants who are contesting come from certain constituencies. Will the constituencies fall for them or not? These are analyses that we'll be conducting for you. And then we'll look at the other constituencies, because there are some key members hailing from these constituencies who are publicly throwing their support behind one of the candidates. We'll see whether that will be consequential or not. But first of all, let's go through the messages of the various individuals. And Abena, if you look at specifically at the fundamental message of someone like Adainimo, for instance, he seems to be preaching unity within the MPP. He says that he's going to unify the MPP. He believes that he is the best candidate to help MPP win election 2024. He said he will ensure equitable distribution of resources, and he will construct MPP offices in constituencies with none. And he another message he's been sending out there is that he will improve fresh water sanitation systems. I don't know how that is also. So that's one of those messages that he has been giving out there. But let's go on to the telephone line before we get to this conversation. Let's go onto the telephone line and speak with my colleague Bayaga once again. We understand he is there with Mr. Kwabna Kukofu, who is a former member of parliament for Bantam constituency. Fatah Bayaga, welcome again.
Yes, Alpha.
Yes.
Yes, Alpha. Yes, he has moved to greet some of the delegates who are here, but I'm still trying to see if I can get him back here.
Okay.
So that we can have a brief conversation about the constituencies he has done so far and what he has made of the process so far. We know that he is someone who is supporting the vice president. I would speak to him to know whether he is going to make it victorious at the end of it. Also, I'm just trying to approach him to see if we can have a conversation with him because of the delegates who are in a long queue here at the Shubin constituency. I don't know if I would want to engage him. I would want to get him briefly. Honorable, please, your life on Orange FM. I don't know if you could just give me 1 minute of your time. All right. So, which constituencies have you gone so far, and what do you make of the election so far?
As many constituencies that you can think of. I've been all around. Ashanti region have 47 constituencies. But particularly Sudan is my adopted constituency. Even though I'm former chairman and former MP of Bantama, working from Bantama and also. So my impression is that it's as good as you guys casting and the media landscape can testify to. That's been one of cordiality. It has been one of what we call peaceful, and everybody is casting his or her votes, and then so don't worry, everything's okay. I think that the process will end peacefully. Sure, it started peacefully, going on peacefully, so it will end up peacefully.
So many people are saying that there's like a big mix of the party, including the constituencies that are all supporting the vice president. I mean, what is the secret in here that you guys know that?
Well, I cannot speak for others, but I can speak for myself. As far back as last year, the vice president approached me in my office and solicited for support. Right after this year, right after he has submitted his application form, he called me again and called for my support. So that's why I'm supporting him. As for others, I cannot speak for them. But the truth is, the man showed humility. He showed confidence in me. He showed the passion that he can work with all manner of people. Having recognized me as one of the kingpins, the major stakeholders and players of the new patriotic party, and then asking me for his support, I couldn't deny him because having known his capabilities and what he can do, what he has done before, and what he has to do for new patriotic party and for Madagana, I have no choice than to support.
That and apart from that, someone who is very, very strong don't you think that it will be very difficult for your candidates?
No. All of them are my candidates. All of them are candidates. They are New Patriotic Party members, and they are vying for. I have just chosen one among the 4 New Patriotic Party. Whoever emerges victorious is mine, and we all rally behind that person. I'm just advocating for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to be in the lead of the pack of 4. That is it.
Hello, Vidal.
Ghanaians have already accepted him, including yourself. I'm vouching for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Once New Patriotic Party elects him, we have prepared the pathway, we've prepared everything to present him to the people of Ghana. And we route him through the media, we route him through the broadcasting and the print media, and also to all stakeholders, identifiable groups, non-identifiable groups, the electorate, the good people of Ghana, you will sell Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So before you go, that your plan is just to be divided at the moment. How are you able to, bring all these people together?
You are here, you are witnessing something of unity. Not all people here will vote for a particular candidate. Others have their preferences. But have you seen any division in here? There's not. Yes, of course, they may distort that perception. But let me assure you, this exercise today is the cement that is going to bring us, the bond that is going to bring us all together. Victory of a particular candidate, which I am going for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will have to cement the unity within the Patriotic Party. And so we are ready to break the age. We are not ready to break the party. So unity. And the evidence base was what we all witnessed some 3 days ago, when all the candidates were summoned to a meeting at the national headquarters. You saw the kind of hysteria, the kind of brotherliness, togetherness that they espouse out there. That has trickled down with us. And we are very much confident that victory today would not be victory for a particular winner. In this case, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but victory for the New Patriotic Party and victory for all of us. Victory for Ghana Democrats. That is what we aspire.
So after you just had the former member of parliament for the Bantama constituency, he is also the EPA boss, Henry Kwabena Kokofu. So he just engaged us briefly, and obviously he is optimistic that the vice president is going to emerge victorious at the end of this particular important election.
Thank you very much, Matawa Bayaga, for that conversation with the former member of parliament for the people of Bantama constituency, Honorable Kokofu there. He believes that indeed the party will be able to unite and forge ahead and contest and, of course, secure victory in the 2024 election. He said they are ready to break the eight, not the party. And he believes that the engagement that the Council of Elders had with the various contestants will go a long way to cement the unity within the party so that they will be able to fight the 2024 election and possibly secure victory. Now, I was talking to you about the major campaign messages of the various contestants. If you listen to Honorable Adanimo, he's heavy on the unity within the party. He believes that given the nod, he will be able to unite the party. He says that he is the best candidate to help MPP win election 2024 because he comes with no baggage, so to speak. He says he will ensure the equitable distribution of resources in the party, and he says that he will construct MPP offices in constituencies with none and improve fresh water and sanitation systems. That's the key messages that we've heard from Chairman Kokofu so far. Now, if you listen to the major campaign message of the former Agric Minister, he says that he will revamp the economy through agriculture. He He will boost MPP party-owned businesses, something akin to what ANC is doing in South Africa. He said there will be gender equality and empower women economically. He says that he will empower Maslow and other organizations. So that has been the key campaign message of the former Agric minister. Kennedy Ohene Japan says that he will help the ailing economy to rebound. He will bring about massive industrialization drive and tourism. He will tackle unemployment. He will instill discipline, integrity, and patriotism amongst Ghanaians. And he will give 6-month amnesty to corrupt officials. So that beyond that, he will be prosecuting all of these individuals. If you listen to Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, he said, well, delegates, look at the sacrifices I've made towards the party. He said that it started way back in 2001 when he was working with the Bank of Ghana. He helped the president at the time to devalue the city, so to speak. He also says that look at my contribution to the party when it comes to campaigns, when it comes to the various lectures, when it comes to the 2012 election petition. And he says that his candidature will neutralize the propaganda of the NDC, because then the NDC cannot then describe the MPP as an Akan party, because this will be the first time, if indeed he becomes the party's presidential candidate, the first time that the MPP will be electing a non-Akan party to lead the governing New Patriotic Party. If you listen carefully to the messages, it appears that whilst a lot of these candidates are looking at the external, parties, so
Ghana
to speak,
as a whole?
beyond the party, they are looking at Ghana, because if you look at the messages, Kennedy is talking about industrialization. He will instill discipline, patriotism amongst Ghanaians. Adanimu said, of course, he said internally he will try to unify the party, but he's also distribute resources equitably. Former Agric minister said he will develop the country with agriculture. But if you listen keenly to Dr. Bawumia, he seems to be saying, well, look at me, look at what I've done. Look at my contribution. And look at what my candidature will do to the NDC. What do you think, why do you think that there's difference in the way these candidates have approached the election and the way that your candidates has
thank you
approached
very much.
the campaign so far?
I had a friend in our PhD class who would normally come and ask me, which subject do you have today? When we are about to write exam, so he is coming to ask me, which subject are we writing today? Can you imagine that? At that high level. So you see, when you look at all that they are talking about, one person is talking about the correct answer, question that is being asked. All others are deviating. And when you do that in exams, you are bound to fail, because your concentration must be on the delegates first. Now, when you go past the delegates, then you begin to address Ghana as a whole. If you go and say you want to do industrialization, on which party manifesto do we have that? When you go and say you want to do agricultural revolution, on which party manifesto do we have that? Let me tell you how MPP has always drafted our manifestos. We've always waited. When we have our presidential candidate, then we bring all the brains in MPP. Then we give sectors of the economy or sectors of governance to those experts. They will do the write-ups and then they will bring it together. We brainstorm it and we put it on a piece called our manifesto for the election. Now, if you are going into an election that you are supposed to be interacting with delegates, and you come and tell the delegates that you want to build dam in the air, the delegates might not listen to you, because what they are interested in now is within the party, how am I as a delegate being looked after
But don't you think
is my interest being served?
These people are approaching
because I need to
they are
push
using
you
the
there.
bandwagon theory to the extent that if the external people are following a particular candidate, that will give the delegates a fair idea of who can secure them victory, so that they will do accordingly.
Let me refer you to an info analysis research in March 2021.
Info analytics.
Info analytics. Their research in March 2021, when they were doing the presidential this thing and then the party internal elections. You know, they said within the MPP, people loved His Excellency the Vice President, but outside the MPP, a lot of people loved Alan Kojo Chairmanton. You remember that one? Okay. Fast forward, we went into what do you call it? Special delegates election. The party showed who they want to present to Ghanaians. You see the point? So, at every point in time, you must get the question correct before you can pass. If you deviate, well, the lecturer has the chance to either let you go or he will give you a negative for you to repeat and repeat. That is exactly what the delegates will do. Some people will remain contestants. Somebody will emerge as the winner, and then we'll go into 2024 election. Amongst them, whoever that get the correct question, whoever that understand the question that is faced with the party now, and give the correct answer will be the one who would emerge the winner today. Because all of them are talking about what they can do. But what can you do for the delegate who is now about to vote for you? These are the people you must interact with. These are the people you must let them know that you have them in mind, not the general plan. After all, they are Ghanaians before they are delegates. But you are addressing them as delegates. Even if NDC is in power, NDC will still address them. Whatever policy NDC brings in, it will affect them as Ghanaians, isn't it? But when the NDC is doing something for their delegates, it will not affect them. So you must address them as delegates and let them understand that this is what you have for them first. They'll vote for you. Then you now talk, when you are confronting the whole Ghana, then you talk about the whole Ghana.
Come back and have a conversation about the pros and cons of all of these individuals. But what do you make of the messages so far? And I want us to look at the campaign message of your contestant or your candidate. He seemed to be saying, I have sacrificed so much for the party. This is the time for you to reward me. Is that the case? Because there are those who say, I mean, when did he even officially become a member of the party? And the sacrifices he mentioned, going around to campaign is the least you expect from a running mate. Being a star witness in a case that you were a petitioner of, but then who did you expect to go and do so for you? It was your case. So it was normal that you become the star witness. So there are those who say the sacrifices he's talking about are the normal things he needed to have done in his position. And
Alpha, you see the way I'm watching you?
Yes.
What goes through my mind is that you need to speak to the chairman of the NDC, Asedu Johnson, Asedu Nketia. He will tell you that going into the witness box is the most difficult thing on earth. The most difficult thing on earth. That's what he said. And somebody went to sit in the witness box for
as a second petitioner.
For 8 months.
As a second petitioner.
And you think the party should not see that as something? But if you will not see it as something, the party saw it as something. And Alpha, let me tell you, it was not just the going to sit there that the vice president is talking about, but the reforms. Do you know, it was the 2012 election or 2013 election petition that propelled the NPP to win election in 2016. Do you know that? Because from there on, all the reforms that we brought and EC executed, those were the reforms that got us to power. And then also, it did some wonderful thing. It opened our eyes to the manipulation that they normally do at the polling stations that we are not aware of. You see the 27-0 thing that appeared. Nobody has ever expected something like that. But it came out, and there was it on pink sheets. And we have several of them. And that tells us that the election can only be won at the polling station. Quite apart from there, you can't win election, especially when the election has been declared in favor of somebody. Look, if you look at the 2012 petition, you know that MPP actually won the court case because there were nine justices. All right, one was supposed to be the leader and allowed the rest to go and write their judgment. 4-4. 4 wrote in favor of MPP, 4 wrote in favor of NDC. And the lead judge had to write his own, had to add his vote to it.
No, he had the right to do so.
Yes, he had the right to do so. But did you listen to? Did you read it carefully? He premised it by saying that as a country where we are right now, any judgment in this particular case would have dire consequences on the country. The judges have that at the back of their mind. So when he says so, and he also added that a government was already in process for 8 months, for the Supreme Court to say, you have ruled this country 8 months, halt there, pack your baggage and leave, allow this party to come into power. Do you know the chaos when ministers were already appointed, DCs, blah, blah, blah? Do you know the chaos we would have put ourselves in? But in the wisdom of the judges, they realized that maintaining this country as a solid block for MPP to come and fight later was better. And they did that. Fortunately, we also accepted fate, and we came back in 2016 to fight. And God rewarded us heavily. It has never been done in this country, and you know that. So you see, it's not like Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going into the box. He just went in there to say that he didn't bring anything. He did not remember he doesn't know what is called pen drive. He didn't see the Excel that he's talking about. He didn't say all those things. He went in there very well prepared, having committed over 25,000 police station numbers onto his memory, and came there to tell Ghanaians what the system looked like. And so this way is not, it should have even been the only reason why the MPP, nobody should have contested him in the MPP.
Let me read some of the messages because the coverage is very interactive. This one said that the internal contest of the MPP is a case of what the few of the party members want and what Ghanaians want. We want Kennedy, and it's looking like they will force Bawumia onto us. Well, we'll have another opportunity to decide. Okay, thank you very much for your WhatsApp message. This one says that, I think that everything points to the fact that Bawumia will win. But my question to the MPP is that, will he be able to secure them victory? Is he the candidate they want? Okay, thank you very much for your WhatsApp message this morning. This one is coming in from Alex. He said, I think, Alpha, the reason why it appears Bawumia is having the support of the majority of delegates is because of his personality. I saw a social media video where he was personally calling delegates. If I were a delegate and I receive a call from the vice president, I may vote for him.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your WhatsApp message this morning. I said morning, sorry, this afternoon. This one is coming in from Kofi, and Kofi said, Alpha, I am monitoring the election keenly. I would have loved Kennedy Agyapong to win. But will he win? I'm not too sure. But tell the MPP, if Kennedy is able to secure 30% of the votes, he may launch a formidable campaign subsequently. They should mark it somewhere. Okay. There are some people who have said that is why the percentage thing will be important. That if any of the candidates fails to secure more than 70, this will mean that the party is to some extent divided, and that the other contestants will be able to, in the future, be able to make a strong claim to lead the MPP. You don't think so?
Alpha, thank you very much. When you were reading one of the messages, I also got another message. And the person is saying that he does not have the studio line. But what he wants to tell you, Alpha, is that should Kennedy get 30% in this particular election, he will give you 2,000 cities.
Oh, who is that person?
I'll share it with you. Now,
the delegates, you have to try for you.
Alpha,
yes.
You see that even John Dramani Mahama says that MPP will not elect His Excellency the Vice President as their presidential candidate. He said that.
Some time ago.
Yes.
They will never.
He said they will never.
He said an ordinary will never.
So we just oppose it to what you just read, the earlier message you just read. That somebody says that. Well,
it's a case of what you guys want. And what the general Ghanaian.
He's just sitting in his corner in his room and typing General Ghanaians.
But that's the
we
feeling.
are all Ghanaians.
That's the feeling.
Is that your feeling? Are you not a Ghanaian? Auntie Abina, is that your feeling?
A lot. See, the last time when you ask people.
You see, when you come and
people who are
your
non-party members.
When you pick your phone.
Tell you that
when you pick your phone Kennedy. At the comfort of your the four corners of your room, and then you type and say General Ghanaians, General Ghanaians, you are just speaking what is in your mind. It does not reflect even your household, let alone your area, let alone your town, let alone your region, or even Ghana. So people can type that, but I am telling you, Alpha, at the end of the day, those who are electorate, they will decide. And I'm telling you that after today, if His Excellency the Vice President is declared, is outdoored, you know we are going to outdoor him today, whoever that wins today, at 4 p.m.
You will outdoor whoever wins.
That is why I have corrected it.
Yes, thank you.
We will outdoor whoever wins this particular election, 4 p.m. And as soon as we do that, from next week onwards.
And there will be a rally after that? Or that's
from next week onwards, if it is His Excellency the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, he would engage Ghanaians and put across the policies that this country needs going into 2025 and beyond. And Alpha, if you have not made your mind to ever vote for him as a floating voter, listening to the policies
as for we
that
want,
I am privy to,
as for
you
him,
will vote for him.
As for we want him to be sitting where you are sitting, so that will be
I have just told you that.
We're asking him the question.
Yes.
Because we have a lot of questions.
And he's very ready.
Yeah, we have
all the questions that you have.
Yeah.
You know that he has never run away from any question. He has always been answering questions and asking people and they are running. He reduced it from 100 to 76. He reduced it from 76 to 1.
Let me read some of the messages. And we'll take a break at 1. We'll take you to City because I've told you that we'll also give you a national picture of what's happening. We'll return and do continuous analysis of the process so far. We'll look at the various constituencies. We'll see how Bosumtwi will pan out. Because Bosumtwi, it looks as if even the members of parliament in the Ashanti region, a lot of them, apart from Asokwa, apart from Eugene Antwi, who is the MP for Supin, and
that's all.
It looks as if a lot of them are rooting for a particular candidate. This one says, good afternoon, Alpha. I'll vote for MPP if Ken is elected. I am Ima. Okay. This other one says that, Alpha, the MPP, I look at them and I laugh. They think Ghanaians are gullible. They think Ghanaians have not seen how they have mismanaged this country. They want to foist Bawumia on us. What new thing has he got to offer to the Ghanaian people? Tell your guest, we'll meet in 2024. Okay. He said, you guys will meet in 2024. That is his message. This one is coming in from Frederick. I think he said, Alpha, good afternoon. Thank you very much for the live coverage. We are listening keenly. Well, it's not surprising who will win, but I think the MPP have just are likely to repeat history, which is that they will lose the 2024 election. There's no way they will be able to break the 8. Thank you very much. Thank you for also sending me your WhatsApp message this morning. Chamaninu said the question that has come is that the MPP is in a difficulty. Already there is incumbency fatigueness, and already Ghanaians are suffering, and they give you numbers. They say, okay, look at the basic aspect of life. Take inflation, for instance. Before you guys assume power, what was the inflationary figure? At the time, it was around 15 or 16%, if my memory serves me right.
Correct.
Now, you said?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, let's work with you, 18.
Yeah.
At a point, inflation got to more than 50%.
53.
Close to 54.
Yeah.
And it brought untold hardship on the Ghanaian people.
Correct.
It impoverished a lot of people. In fact, the World Bank said more than 800 million people, Ghanaians.
Not 800 million.
840,000
Ghanaians.
40,000. Sorry. That was a mistake. 840,000 were pushed under the poverty line because of inflationary figures. You take something like the exchange rate, for instance. You took it around 3.8. Some say it's 4.2. Let's work with 4.2. At a point, it got to 15 cedis to $1. And that put a lot of pressure on the Ghanaian people. You take the price of fuel. At a point, we were buying a gallon for, say, 20 cedis. At a point, 20 cedis became the amount for getting a liter of diesel in this country. Skyrocketed. So Ghanaians look at all of these things and say, see how you've put pressure on the Ghanaian people. See how you've squeezed us. See how
thank you very much.
You brought untold hardship, and you're still seeking to break what? The 8th?
You see, that is why I always have some challenge with Ghana, you the journalist in this country. You know, you are my friend from Boliga to Accra. But one thing that you are not educating Ghanaians on is, you see that you were mentioning we picked inflation from 18 to 53, we picked exchange rate from 4.2 to this, we picked this to that. You see that you were mentioning them and they were very scary. But Alpha, you did not also add that this country, we set off without COVID, and COVID came around to put you, Alpha, in your room. For 21 days, you were asked not to come to the station to come and work. Except to say you were privileged as a journalist. You were privileged to have a waiver as journalists to come and work. Factory hands, those that work in the factory to produce the shirt that you and I are wearing, were asked to sit in their various rooms 21 days. You did not add that one, Alpha. And when you did not add that, you also did not add that the food stock of the whole world had dwindled from a particular figures to some particular figures. You also did not add that. You also did not add that we lost lives that we started with very abled men and women. Alpha, if I cannot mention, but I can mention two that are so painful to me as a person. Sir John was not sick. He was a vibrant man. He left his family. We started with him. We didn't end with him. We started with my own prof, Professor Planchru. We started with him. We did not end with him. You didn't mention that. So when you do the analysis one-sided and you don't tell Ghanaians that it was not deliberate or it was not a policy that brought us to where we are or a wrong policy that brought us to where we are, but rather an accident that brought us to where we are, then it means that you are not telling the full story. It means that you are not telling the full story. Like the whole world was asked not to import anywhere and not to travel anywhere. And Alpha, you know that if we don't import and we don't export, we'll be where we are, and then we will reduce in size. Because whatever food that you have in your room, if you don't go out and buy and come, and don't go out and sell, whatever you have in your room, you will consume it. And in fact, you'll be reducing by size. Because if you have only granules in the house, you have one-sided protein. If you have only maize in the house, you have just carbohydrates. You need to go out there and buy beans. But you were asked not to go out there and buy beans. Alpha, at the end of the day, you're going to grow koshiako. So you see, if you are going to talk about the Ghana story or the MPP story without adding this to it, you are not being fair to Ghanaians who are listening to you every day and believing whatever you say to them.
We have voices of authority who have discredited that notion. They seem to say, yes, we've been impacted by these exogenous
The fact that they said yes means that they have accepted
to some extent,
and agreed.
But they say that the economy began to face difficulties even before COVID. I'm sure you've read the article by Pierre Laporte, he's the World Bank country director for Ghana.
Yes.
Who said that we began to face difficulties way back in 2019. Okay.
And you listen to that same Pierre Laporte report that says that Ghana did well in managing COVID resources when NDC says they will not listen to him.
Yes, he did say that. So, but they are two different things.
You see that you cannot be believing him in one breath and will not be believing him. If you have to believe him, you have to believe him.
He may have said, but I'm seeing that his point is that we began to face difficulties because at a point in time our debt to GDP began to skyrocket.
Is it true with you? You were here in Ghana, you and I were here, and he was outside.
At a point that even IMF warned us that if care is not taken, we will be.
And we were growing at a whooping 8%.
That was from 2017 to somewhere 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
No, check the figures.
Okay.
2020 we were still growing at 8%.
2020.
Yes.
We'll check that. But
2021 we began to come down.
That is one argument that seems to refute that claim. The other argument has been that you see the impact of COVID on Ghana was an outlier situation to the extent that the inflation that got to 54, close to 54, was never experienced on the sub-region or in Africa. There was no country at that point in time that experienced that level of inflation. That's number one.
I love this engagement, I love this engagement because there was no any country within the sub-region that implemented free senior high school in totality.
It was started in 2017. Free SHS was started in 2017.
Of course.
So it couldn't have been as a result of... And countries have different policies they implement. You can't say this government don't have social intervention policy.
See, you see,
they do.
A disease entered the body in minor forms, microorganisms that I cannot see. They enter the body in that form, but when they hit the peak, then the whole giant will begin to crumble. It is not like that same day was when the disease infected you.
So, in other words, it exposed the fundamental problems of our economy. That our economy had structural challenges. COVID only exposed it, made it worse, as compared to some other African countries? Because you see, when your government was in opposition, when your party was in position, and the NDC were blaming the economic difficulties at the time on some external factors, the fact that there was high prices of oil at the international market. They even talked about the other disease that broke out. I've forgotten the name. Ebola, etc.
Ebola didn't come to Ghana.
No, but they talked about that. They
Ebola
talked about
did not affect the whole world.
Prices of
Ebola did not affect the whole
I'm coming.
world. Tell me a country that didn't record COVID.
The commodity prices, the increment of a commodity price such as oil, all of those
oil
things.
prices were going up during COVID.
The argument by Vice President, your candidate at the time, on behalf of the party was that how is it that all of these things that the NDC were complaining about, even though yes they were happening, but how is it that it's only affecting Ghana? Why is that not affecting Cote d'Ivoire? Why is that not affecting Nigeria? Why is that? So you look at inflation. The last time we checked, when Ghana was dealing with 54 inflation, Nigeria's inflation was around 20%. As for Cote d'Ivoire, it was so less. So the question will be, why is it that COVID struck, affected all countries, but Ghana was absolutely impacted by this to the extent that the situation got worse for us? How is that so?
Alva, thank you very much. Also getting a whole lot of messages. Some are saying that I should tell you that you will be here to interview the Baumia team after tomorrow.
Okay.
You should be here to interview the Baumia. They should not feel shy. That's what they have added. And
I don't understand what he's.
That's what
he said. He said what?
He said, Chairman, tell Alpha that he should be here to interview the Baumia team after tomorrow. Okay. He should not feel shy.
Okay.
Alpha, let's go on to the question.
We'll be here.
Let's go on to the question you asked. You see, when you said the vice president then, the vice president candidate then, yes, was asking the questions, why is it that it is affecting only Ghana? You see, you could see that some of their effects, some of their effects that we were talking about were borrowed ones. I just made mention to you that Ebola didn't come to Ghana, and Ebola did not affect the whole world.
But they prepared.
So if
emergency preparation in Ghana, so they needed to put in measures to ensure that we will not hit by Ebola.
But did it
that
come?
Will affect the economy one or the other.
Did it come to Ghana?
And it affected some other countries.
But at the end of the day, they added it as part of the reason why the economy was falling. You just mentioned that. Is that not correct?
Yes, I mean, they made that clear.
So something that you have not seen, you have not experienced, and you blame it. And something that you have seen, felt, and experienced, and you don't want to blame it. You see that these are double standards, if you will excuse me. Because something you have not seen, you've not experienced, you'll accept that. Look, the only time that I believe that people accept things that they haven't seen, experienced is religion. Religion. Apart from that, any other thing that people will see, experience is what they will talk about.
Okay.
And believe. So if Ebola was not in Ghana and they could add it as part of the reason why the economy was having challenges, and now COVID hit the whole world, I was just asking if you could tell me any country or island on earth that did not experience COVID. COVID ravaged every part of this world. And so the effect is not going to go today. You were talking about COVID exposing. True, I agree with you because of the field that I work. COVID exposed the whole country or the whole world, but in our case, to the extent that we realize that we have to be self-sufficient when it comes to specific drugs, specific consumables, like nose mask, gloves, and all those things. COVID has actually reminded us that interdependence is too much. And so therefore we have to look internally to do things on our own. That I can agree with you. But if I can agree with you on that, then I must also agree, you must also agree with me that COVID hit hard, and all these things that we are facing now are the consequences of COVID.
I see. This one says that Alpha, even though we are experiencing economic crisis, now it is far better a Minister of Youth and Employment who told Ghanaian youth to cut grasses for employment. Mahama is simply not an option. He has been vice president, the main president, tested and failed. Asiedu from Achiakru. Thank you very much, Asiedu, for joining us with your thoughts this afternoon. You're still listening to Orange 107.9, and we are bringing to you an extensive coverage of the Npp primaries. We understand that polls is expected to end at 2, if I'm correct, and then counting will begin afterwards. And we'll be here to tell you who amongst the various candidates. This is a monumental day for the Npp because since 2007, they've had one flag bearer. That is going to change from today. One person will take take the reins of leading the Npp into the 2024 election. The question we're asking: will it be Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, the current vice president? Will it be Kennedy Ohinia Japan? If you are an Npp member or a delegate, who do you think is the right candidate for you to lead the Npp to secure victory? Send us your thoughts on 05485015840. 05485015840. We are bringing to you an extensive coverage, and we are doing this together with our partner station, City 97.3 FM. Very soon we'll go there so that you will have a fair idea of what's happening across our country when it comes to this particular primaries. We are here to bring to you what's happening in the region. Chairman said, let's look at the regional, the constituencies, etc. I mean, which constituencies do you think? Some say Subin is likely to fall for perhaps Kennedy Ohinia Japan. Some say Kwadaso will be very difficult for Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, for instance, because, of course, the former Greek minister comes from Kwadaso. He was the member of parliament for that constituency. Some say, look at Ejiso, for instance. It used to be it's the constituency of Alan Kodio Mantin. He's no more in the race. Do you think Ejiso is likely to fall for any other candidate apart from your candidate? But I'll engage you on all of these. Let's go to Kwadaso because Bayaga is there for us to bring to us what's happening in Kwadaso constituency. Yes, Fatal, good afternoon and welcome back again. Tell me where you are and what can you report?
Yes, so Arthur, I am at the Kwadaso constituency. This is the constituency that one of the presidential aspirants come from, the former Agriculture Minister, Dr. Usua. So yes, the election process is very calm here. There hasn't been any kind of thing that probably left the people here unhappy. It's been very smooth. But Arthur, before I give you more information on this election, let me engage one of the people supporting the former Great Minister here with me. Hello, sir, please welcome to your most comprehensive election station, Orange FM. Thank you very much. So you support the former Great like I want to test out so you can infer from that. So so far, this is his consistency. Yeah. How is the process going? Well, it has been good. It has been peaceful. When you came, you can see calmness and everything here. Policemen have had their day and then they are setting aloof without having any insurance whatsoever that is happening in the conditions. Everything is going on smoothly. And we thank God so much for whatever that we have done in our lives. Probably by the end of probably by 2 p.m. we will know the winner. I would have wished my candidate to win instead one of the closest we have to. Things have said in several years. However, delegates will rather speak. And when they speak, whosoever that wins, we shall support the person. I pray that there wouldn't be any brutal attack in misunderstanding here and there and other things aftermath of the election. That it has been so, and I pray that quite as a coincidence here, my candidate will win. That's what I wish. We have multifaceted challenges. As we are talking about, we have two. At the end, guys, he also hails from this place. We also have some people around.
remember, the election is very, very tough. So I will not say straight away that this person will win. Because I'm a conscience of Canada to myself. I've been conscious of for over 20 good years, so I know what I'm talking about. So I cannot straight away say that this person will win or this person will win. But I pray that I've not lost hope. And you see, the end of fight, and if you have remembered what Sir John said, that fear delegates. So you are not just far to the end of the day before you know, the winner. That's how it is. But it has been peaceful, and then if you look at the way people are, moving around, you see that we are all, taking it cool.
Yeah, and they would actually want him to win overwhelmingly, so that they would now have the confidence that maybe across the country he will be able to pull some out of those to add to what you get here to win the race.
Yes, that is my wish, that you should understand that these politics is about money. Where you see some candidates maybe giving up some TNTs now, this and then maybe some of them just will be far bigger than yours. You can also infer from that. That's this money wins. However, you cannot buy the conscience of an individual. So by the end of the day, when we finish, we know who will be the winner, and I think one candidate will be the winner. Why not? Well, about automatically TNT will be given to the delegates. I've been a conscience officer before, and I know what I'm talking about. All this is normally happens. It's a TNT that is giving to the delegates, because they are living far from where they are voting, so it's not this will happen. And so that one can also pose a challenge to some of the other candidates. If probably they are unable to give as it is, that one can also happen.
He has the quality to lead the country, but just that he doesn't have the financial muscle. So that is not the point. We have multifaceted factors that brings about who somebody contesting to win the election. Some may think of money, some may think of society, some may think the loyalty. And so I am talking about the loyalty, that if the loyalty suffices, then automatically will be the victorious here. Yes, I'm Frank Amako. Let's go further. Right. So after we just heard one of the strongest supporters of the former great minister here at the Kwadasu constituency, he should not so be confident that his candidate is going to win, because based on how he spoke to me, I'm not quite sure he is confident that their candidate is going to emerge victorious here at the constituency. But everything is calm. The sun is scorching, and all the delegates have the church comes under the trees here, waiting for two, because I'm not seeing. Okay, there are still a few people who are voting, but based on the information I have gathered here, and told that almost all the delegates have gone through the process, and they are now waiting for two, where we understand that the sorting out and then eventual counting will begin here at the Kwadasu constituency.
Okay. Thank you very much, Fatal, for bringing to us that conversation. Chamadusa, let's wrap up, and then we'll connect with City for the second part of the coverage.
Right, my brother.
But in wrapping up, it appears a lot of you seem to be very keen on the peaceful nature of this election. Do you think, because if you listen to the other candidates, they seem to be talking about fairness, they seem to be talking about, do you think we'll get a peaceful election after that? Because we are gathering some reports that in some constituencies, there are some issues here and there, some scuffles here and there. What do you make of all of that?
Thank you very much. Alpha, I believe that at the end of the day, there's a saying that the beginning of a testicle is when you should know that it's going to be a hernia. And I believe that how we started in the morning, peaceful, in a lot of the constituencies, I believe that we're going to end it the same way. One thing about election is that even the election between what to eat in a day there is always scaffold. So we cannot go this election without few skirmishes here and there, but there will not be much to mar the election. There will just be few areas, and then we should be able to handle that. But by and large, I believe that the party is resolute, and we would come out as a party in one unit.
Thank you very much. We'll come back and continue with the coverage, but let's now take you to City so that you can have a feel of the nationwide coverage as well. Stay with us.
This first half, very much like.
Okay, so we'll go there very shortly. I think that currently they are broadcasting the English Premiership. When they are done with that, we'll connect you with City so that you have a fair idea of what's happening. Stay with me. Your messages are still welcome on 0548501584. So you're still listening to the live coverage of the Npp primaries. We are here, and of course we are bringing to you the analysis and of course the reports on ground. And if you check on our social media pages, we have videos and pictures for you that tells you exactly what is happening with regards to this contest. You can go there and check the videos out, and we are also streaming live on YouTube, and it's interactive, and so you can keep your thoughts coming through on 0548501584. Your WhatsApp message are welcome, and maybe we can take some of your voice notes as well. Let me see if I can take this voice note, what this person is trying to share with us.
Afa wa done for Daniel, me do me that I say omo share omo pa omo musa data bank customers omo kuta no omo share challenges omo fam so betia customers ka afa say data bank obi an say omo hear the writing omo discount no hear the writing afa makwa redemption 14th December 2022 up to date means sankai. And one reason I'm ultimately man and say because of death exchange their government in the enti omo ntimi entua yeka na mensan kwoto abama MPP afa afa yenya you me say last me say afa ye dem baye sa man vote 300 ne 400 mo baye na mo wia na the whole Ghana ma tueska e dia convince ye ne ye to amamo afa.
So that is Daniel, who has sent in his voice note, giving us an idea of what he thinks. If you are a delegate or you are an MPP supporter or you are a political watcher, you can let us know what you make of this contest. Who do you think, in your view, is likely to emerge victorious? Let's go into the telephone line. Now, my colleague Fatawa Bayaga is speaking with Honorable Kingsley Yakon in the Kwadaso constituency. Hello, Fatawa.
Yes, Alpha.
Yes. I understand you have the MP for Kwadaso with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. Talk to him.
Yes. Yes. So I have the Member of Parliament for the people of Kwadaso here with me, Dr. Kingsley Nyakon. He is, here with me, and we will just have a brief conversation about this election so far. So, Honorable, you've been here. What do you make of the election?
Oh, yeah. So far, we had a very successful and peaceful election. The voters walked in, voted for their choice without a sprinkler of intimidation. As some people are alleging, everything has been done within an atmosphere calm, respectful democratic practice. So far, so good. I can observe. We didn't record any single negative incident since the process began in the early hours of the day.
And you are supporting the vice president, if I'm clear. Yes. This is also the area that the former greatness comes from. Don't you think that you give the vice president a good run for his money?
After the results are declared, because now I can't say much about that because we are at the end of the process. So I can't say that the results will indicate whether what you are saying will be the case. Yeah, we are convinced that Otabamia is going to sweep majority of the votes in the constituency. That is our expectation, and that is how the official results, and we will know whether our expectation will met or otherwise. But we are convinced that this is our expectation.
What we saw reports that you and one other person were cheated out by some youth. How is that?
It's a fabrication. It's an untruth. It's a blatant lie. Nobody has chased neither myself nor my mind. So my incident was in the house was in the house till 1:30 p.m. when I went to see two patients at the teaching hospital. One at the emergency, one at the D block. From there, around 3, I went to Silver FM and had a program to 12:30, and I came to the constituency, the party office. When I was on the set, I was receiving some phone calls. So under the program and I called, they said that I have been chased. This is a complete lie. Nothing of that nature happened. Nobody has chased me. Nobody has chased my chairman. I don't know where it is coming from. So it's a complete news to me. People just fabricated this lie. So let us disregard that false report. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Yeah.
Vice President has a lot of money. That's incident. So maybe is the reason why some of the delegates might go in for him.
But when the ballots were cast on the foreign soil, the US and other continents. Didn't you see the outcome? US affairs, for example, one person has 15%. Where they also died. I mean, let's say it's not about money. I mean, the concept, I mean, the delegates of the new political party, they know the person they want. They know the person they feel has the potential, the capability, and the competence to lead us to victory in the 2024 election. So, I mean, nobody has been influenced, with money. I mean, it's not true. People are voting based on their fear, based on their conscience, the person they feel has the capacity to deliver us another electoral process. That's it. End of story. Nothing. Never money.
So the last one before I allow you to go, people struggling to understand this, that almost everyone, from members of parliament, regional executives, constituency executives, all of you are supporting the vice president. Why is that?
It means he's very popular. It means he's a person you feel can deliver the victory. I mean, that's what it means. Because he's popular. Because we see that he has the wherewithal in terms of competence, in terms of intellect, in terms of his behavioral attributes. I mean, he's next to none as you speak now within our political party. Okay, when NDC went for Mahama, almost all of them voted for him, right? Probably they felt that he's a person who could lead them. And if you feel that was pioneer in the one made to not follow the 2008 and 2020. Yeah, I mean, he's been around a very long time. Running mate all the time. Twice he became the vice president. And I mean, he's the face of the party. But is not there. That is a fact. You don't want to bring somebody who is not marketable to face Mahama, who has been a vice president and the president. I mean, you don't do that. If Bamia were not competent or didn't have the capacity, there's no way we'll be able to, vote for him. But we see that now he possesses the strength, okay, to give us a victory. That's it.
I also know as a fact that inflation even went as high as more than 50%. That's nothing good to write home about. Even the early part of last year. I mean, the country in the areas, and it's really good.
You know the factors lead to increase in inflation. In 2015, we met inflation at 15.4%. We were able to bring inflation down to 7.9%. In fact, we were in single digits for over 3 years, right? We managed it in single digits for a very long time. Then we had, the COVID, we had the Russia invasion of Ukraine, and inflation started falling. And check around the globe, every nation has their inflation going up because the FAO, okay, Food and Agriculture Organization, in 2022, that global food inflation was going to increase. That's what we saw everywhere. It went to over 50%. Now it's come down. You know what I mean? So, you cannot put the blame on the vice president and the government because we were able to manage it in Senegal for 2 years before the advent of this change. It will start to sell the whole world. Cannot say the situation. We were able to manage inflation. The city depreciated against the US dollar between 2017 and 2019, 8.7%. The same period before we took over under the NDC administration was 18.7%. Okay, we were able to, even in 2021 and 2022, the city depreciated by 3.93% each year. Okay, but now this year, we started going up, right? Even 15% or so. 15 cities to $1. and it come down again. You know, it's everything of fuel by economic variables. No, yeah. You're not saying to do. What we are saying is that issues, okay, led to the city not doing well, and we need to be honest with ourselves as the people. Our currency has not been stable for a very long time. Our currency keeps depreciating against the major trading currency. As a result, largely to our dependence on especially Asian goods. Right? The more you import more goods, okay, you export less. What you need is foreign exchange to do the trading. So that is a major, so as long as we rely on a steady importation, we cannot control the stability of our currency. So what do we do? As we speak, every year we spend about $1 billion to keep our lives up. Every month we spend $400 million to purchase crude oil products. You know what I mean? So what we have to do is to industrialize the country. So we say we're going to do 1D1S. It was that 1D1S will help us to lessen our importation of goods. If we're able to add value to the produce and we export them, we are going to get more foreign exchange, you know what I mean? And this will help us to, keep our steady depreciation within even reasonable, lower limits. That is the idea. Until we're able to get these things done, we always struggle with how we hold our currency in place. The government policies were geared towards reduction of our currency, driving more export, value-added export, widening our tax bracket, so the Ghana will be able to do that, to work in both the informal sector. These were notable ideas. But as human beings, even as it pertains in our specific homes, we can plan, we can have projections, but there could be dislocations, within the variables you are using to do the protection, in terms of dwindling financial strength or ill health. If you have projections and you're not well, you're more likely going to divert those resources to keeping yourself, healed and all that. So these are some of the things, and we know that. So we are doing our best to keep all these things in check. Before last year also, we were able to raise interest rates about 13%, if you remember. We moved interest rates from about 50% to 13%. Now inflation started moving high. What do you do? You want to bring down inflation. What do you do? And you need to deploy some monetary policy intervention. If you want to break interest rates, to break inflation down, you need to also increase interest rates. You know what I mean? Bringing inflation down, you must increase interest rates so that you restrict money supply in the economy. The idea is that when money are restricted in the economy, then power will reduce. We wouldn't have more money in the system, thereby bringing down inflation. That is why even in advanced economies like the U.S., the Fed has been increasing interest rates since COVID-19 and the war between Russia and Ukraine started. It seems that the global issues are so daunting, and every country is willing and afraid. But I'm not doing the vast, but they are doing their best to ensure that the pains and the sufferings of the masses are brought down to a certain minimum. So we are working around the clock to realize that. Yeah. Of course. Anytime, if I have the time and you invite me, I'll come over. Right? Yeah.
So, Alpha, you just heard the Member of Parliament for the Kwadasu constituency, and obviously we've spoken a lot about so many things, including the economy and what he he makes of this the election today. And obviously, he's opposed to the vice president, and he says that the vice president is going to emerge victorious even here at the home region, the home constituency of the former Agri Minister, Alfali.
Okay, thank you very much for Taubeaga for that report and that conversation with the Member of Parliament for the people of Kwadaso constituency. So, Chairman, we'll have to wrap up. We'll cross over to City. I'm sure after 4 we'll hear from you. And the guy who please, I'm very interested in that.
He's not mean a person than a chairman. He's a chairman. He's one of the electoral area chairman, and the amount he mentioned
is not.
Be rest assured that
we will get the 30%.
It's just that unfortunately.
Okay. Yes.
It's just that unfortunately.
I will not get there.
You lose the bet.
Angels will come. They will help me out.
You lose the bet. At the end of the day, some 12% will do, and then
we'll see.
Yeah, but by and large, I think so far we haven't had anything major that is disruptive of the election, and I believe that per the rules of engagement, by 2 p.m. we should be wrapping up, and election results will begin to trickle in.
Very well.
Yeah. So we thank the delegates and thank you, the journalists that are also monitoring to tell the whole country what is happening in the MPP.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's now go to City. Get a feel of the national coverage. Stay with us.
Constituency executive, it is handled at the regional level. If the person is an appointed constituency executive, it is handled at the constituency level. If the person is an elected constituency executive, it is handled at the regional level. If the person is an appointed regional executive, it is handled at the regional level. If the person is an elected regional officer, it is handled at the national level. So we have levels of appeals, levels of disciplinary measures, and that we have. And any member of the party can report, can complain, can't apply, and can petition. It is open. If so far as you have the fact, and you'll be able to avail yourself to make sure that the right thing is done by the body that is established by the party's constitution.
Right. Prof, let me come back to you on the school of thought that says that the MPP as it stands now and in recent times